next one shows the scores for the 8th grade students. Please take a look. From this chart, we can see that their average progress was 2.31. Although they only had a little improvement, most of them gave us positive feedback on our teaching, and later, you will know more about their feedback. The last one shows the scores for the 9th grade students. Please take a look. From this chart, we can see that their average progress was 20.5. How our teaching demonstration were effective? First, through the exercises and the stories, students could practice the grammar structures and the content of the stories. Second, through the board game, students could learn and review with low pressure. Third, through the animations uploaded on YouTube, students could learn by themselves at home. Next, Rika will talk about the reflection on the process of our material design.
Reflection on the process of our material design and development. We spent a lot of time creating our own PV formulas. In the beginning, we had difficulties making connections between Chinese and English grammar structures. Furthermore, it was difficult for us to make the animations because we had never learned this skill before. Thus, we met a lot of frustration. What was worse, in order to avoid violating others' intellectual property rights, we had to draw a lot of images and record the stories by ourselves. From these situations, we found that we still had many things to learn and work on. Next, let's look at the students' feedback on our teaching demonstration. During our 8 days teaching, the 7th graders learned mostly grammar and vocabulary. They learn these through activities rather than through traditional teaching. Therefore, our teaching methods appeal to students' learning. The 8th graders love to learn through competitive games after learning these interesting formulas and playing the board game. Therefore, they learn English in a low anxiety environment. The 9th graders will be preparing for the comprehensive assessment program for junior high school students. So we told reading by letting them discuss the stories with scripts in groups in order to create a low-stress environment for them to learn. As a result, students prefer group discussion the most, so that they could learn English in a more relaxed and more effective way. Next, Joyce will talk about the conclusion.
In conclusion, our product focuses on reading and grammar. Students could learn this through looking at the pictures in the stories, remembering the grammar structure by learning our PV formulas, and doing reading and grammar exercises. In the end, we achieved Objective 1 by letting students play the board game and learning with the animations. Therefore, students would get interested in learning English instead of learning for tests. What's more, in order to achieve Objective 2, we rewrote the stories and created PV formulas so that students could remember the grammar structure easily. By doing so, we achieved Goal 2. Next, Sophia will talk about our perspective and material and suggestions of our materials and products.
The perspective and suggestion of our materials and products. We think that our videos could be made more vivid. We could follow some programs to improve our video, and we could unify the pictures in the same style so that users would not feel they are from different people. Also, we could become the characters in the dramas. It might help not only us to feel the plot, but also help users to understand every moment and feeling the characters' experience. For the next step, we would like to complete our grammar teaching videos that offer PC formulas and examples to help users to learn. For a board game, first, we could make board game into a PC game. There are different levels in PC game that can be chosen according to English proficiency. Second, we could offer original files for users to design their own board game as they wish, just by following the instructions and formats that we design. Overall, we hope we can finish all these things in the future. Next, Elaine will talk about our reflection.
According to our reflection, we thought this project was very challenging and difficult to achieve good cooperation in a big team.
We did encounter many difficulties through this project. However, we deal with every difficulty step by step and made the mission as perfect as it could be. After going through this project, we realized how important it is to communicate with each other and listen to other people's opinion. And we also learned how to apply knowledge we had acquired during this year. And we also learned how to make videos, rewrite story, and design textbooks. In the end, we designed 3 textbooks, story videos, and board games as our products. And we hope they can be used by teachers and students in the days to come. And this is our reference. Now it's time for Q&A, and any suggestion or comments are welcome.
我觉得对这个 GTM 这个做法的口诀上，我觉得其实很棒。那我这边有一个建议，比方说，当然在整个内容上我觉得没问题，但是有些后面那个，因为那个后面那个 A 看那个，我觉得这个在教学上可能面对学生上可能是需要做的一个避免。但是我觉得口诀这个概念上是好，那你当然你要，因为口诀基本上是吸引他们的学习兴趣。然后包括是让他们容易记忆，所以其实某个层面你应该带动起他们更好的记忆，比如说连缀动词，对，让他感觉到，要让他听得到、感觉到，要让他听得到、感觉到 able 这个 A 就可以带出来，然后那个这个比较好，这一块可能需要再调整。
Any questions or comments from the audience?
Thank you for your suggestion. We will revise our teaching methods, our teaching ways. Thank you.
All right. Thanks for your interesting demonstration and sharing of your story. Well, I have 2 questions. And the first one is, how did you decide which kind of reading, for example, the stories or mythology, what kind of stories will be suitable for different graders? Why did you choose fairy stories for the 8th graders, for example? Could you talk more about that?
Thank you for your question. Because we want to make our material from simple to complex, so we think that Aesophagus is simple for students for 7th graders, and then we told the mythologies for the 9th graders. So it's from simple to complex. Thank you.
Focus grammar to the syllabus or the curriculum of the junior high school. How did you match them? How did you, for example, how were you so sure that the grammar focus for the 8th grader was consistent with what they learned in the 8th grader in junior high school? Could you talk more about that part?
Thank you for your question. Because we have searched their textbooks, so we matched the grammar they learned, and so we use the grammar they learned to teach the suitable grade. For example, like for 7th graders, we searched that they learn mostly present simple tense, so we told them for the 7th graders, such like this. Thank you for your question.
Okay, I have a question here, and thank you very much for your presentation. It was very interesting. My question is very simple because you are teaching grammar. And I was wondering, when you choose your materials, how do you link the grammars that you are teaching? For example, you're teaching linking verbs, but the materials that you choose to read or the materials you choose to teach in class how do they connect together? Or I rather see two different things. You are teaching reading on one hand and then teaching grammar on the other. So if there's a connection between the two for the methodologies or the material chosen that you have choose, that would be, I think that would be more idealistic. Thank you.
Thank you for your suggestion. We will revise it to feel like consistent with each other. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. 谢谢教学组第二组。
Thank you.
Teaching Group 4, please get ready. 教学组第四组，请准备。
嘿，郑，我突然想到一个问题，你觉得同台间的口语互动会影响到我们英语口说能力吗？
这个问题不好说，就让研究组来回答你的疑问吧。
The next group is the research group, the effects of peer communicative interaction on oral development.
掌声欢迎研究组，主题：同才间的口语互动对口语学习成效的影响。
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, the other research group. These are my group members, Irene, Stephen, and I'm Casper. Today, we are going to present our research, the effects of peer community interaction on English oral development. This is the agenda for today. Please take a brief look. Since 1970s, the concept of community approach that focused on community competence has been widely used all around the world. Besides, the 12 years compulsory education policy in Taiwan also emphasized the importance of community competence. However, should we start encouraging the community interaction to cultivate students' community competence on young learners in Taiwan? These questions motivate us to think about the effects of community interaction on elementary school students' language learning. There are two teaching methods inspired by community approach, which are community language teaching, CLT, and task-based language teaching, TBLT. We found that both CLT and TBLT facilitates community interaction. And the keyword interaction is widely studied in the field of second language acquisition, SLA. In SLA, Sparta suggests that conversational interaction is the key element of language learning. Besides, Cauchy in his theory believes that learning takes place during the interaction, in which students modify the language to make the language comprehensible. Therefore, we studied to review other SLA researchers' study on the topic of interaction. Akira, in his studies, found that when the learners were exposed into a friendly environment, they tended to interact with peers more. So this inspires us to encourage peer interaction into our classroom teaching. Testers studied the interaction patterns between the young immigrants and local children outside of the classroom. He found that when the young learners were interacting, they helped each other to produce the language. So Hester suggests that we should promote interaction into classroom teaching. Lebster and Richards in their study found that during the interaction, the expertise will contribute their language ability to help other learners to learn the language. So based on our finding, we propose 2 research questions. The first research question, does peer community interaction have effects on learners' overall development? And second research question, does personal oral participation have effects on learners' English oral development? So this summer, we held a summer camp in Tainan for 5 days to collect our research data. We recruited 31 students. They were 5th to 6th grade students. Before the summer camp, we mixed and arranged the students into 6 groups. We put students into the same groups based on their learning experience of English, from those who are very familiar with English to those who are not. However, 3 students missed out our pre-test or the post-test. Therefore, we will only have 28 students included in our statistical analysis. The material and instrument we have for our research includes